The airlock hissed, then buckled, throwing Mark Watney's survival into a tailspin. In that chilling cinematic moment, the pressurized habitat failed, freezing the soil and killing the vital bacteria needed for life. The plot thickened as the protagonist looked at his blackened, frozen potato plants, realizing that without living soil, he was a dead man. What led to this desperate scene was the total dependence on a fragile, closed-loop system. On Earth, we face a similar vulnerability. Our reliance on synthetic, industrial fertilizers. When the supply chain snaps, or the soil turns dead from chemical overuse, we find ourselves in Watney's shoes, starving in a desert of our own making. The fermented plant juice FPJ hack is the ultimate insurance policy against this collapse. It is the art of capturing the blood of resilient plants to resurrect the life in the ground before the airlock ever fails. Before the Industrial Revolution, nature never required a bag of NPK fertilizer to produce a forest. The weed is the most misunderstood character in the agricultural story. While farmers spend billions to eradicate them, the weed is actually a nutrient-dense survivalist. It grows in the poorest soils, mines minerals from deep underground, and possesses the highest concentrations of growth hormones. The fermented juice hack recognizes that the very plants we hate are the ones carrying the code for resilience. By harvesting these vigorous invaders like stinging nettle, dandelion, or purslane, we are gathering the most potent biological energy available on the landscape. This chapter marks the shift from seeing weeds as enemies to seeing them as free, high-grit fertilizer. It is the realization that the solution to a failing crop isn't found in a laboratory, but in the fast-growing greenery currently thriving in the cracks of the sidewalk. To extract the life force from these weeds without boiling away the delicate enzymes, we use the power of osmosis. This is a cold extraction process that requires only 2 ingredients: chopped green plant material and brown sugar. The science is straightforward but transformative. When sugar is packed tightly against plant tissue, it creates a high-pressure gradient that draws the intracellular liquid out of the cells. This plant blood contains hormones, enzymes, and lactic acid bacteria. It is a thick, shelf-stable syrup that smells like molasses rather than rot. In our movie scenario, if Watney had access to sugar and local flora, he could have created a biological jumpstart for his frozen soil. This process doesn't just harvest minerals, it harvests the spirit, or the key of the plant, concentrating the essence of growth into a liquid gold that can be stored for months. The fermented plant juice hack is not just a nutrient tea, it is a microbial marriage. When the sugar draws out the plant juices, it provides an immediate food source for indigenous yeasts and lactic acid bacteria living on the leaves. These microbes begin a controlled fermentation process. This is the secret sauce that synthetic fertilizers lack. Chemicals provide raw elements, but FPJ provides a living colony of workers. These microbes, once applied to the field, act as a bridge between the soil and the roots. They break down organic matter and unlock stuck phosphorus in the earth. This explains why the dead soil in our opening scene was so catastrophic. It lacked the biological bridge. By fermenting weeds, we are essentially breeding an army of microscopic laborers that work for free, ensuring that every drop of nutrition is delivered directly to the plant's hungry mouth. Timing is everything in the fermented juice hack. To get this super gem quality, one must harvest the weeds before the sun touches them. At dawn, the plant's growth hormones are at their peak concentration in the growing tips. The plant has spent the night accumulating energy for its morning growth spurt. If you harvest at noon, the energy has been spent on photosynthesis, and the enzymes are less potent. This meticulous timing is what separates a master grower from a hobbyist. In our cinematic survival story, every calorie and every second counts. By harvesting at the precise moment of peak vitality, the farmer ensures the highest possible bricks or sugar content in the extract. This ensures that the resulting fertilizer isn't just a supplement, but a powerful growth stimulant that can trigger a visible green-up in the garden within a matter of hours. The choice of solvent in this hack is critical. We use crude brown sugar or molasses because it is unrefined and rich in minerals. The sugar serves a dual purpose. It acts as the osmotic pump and as a preservative. By lowering the water activity in the mixture, the sugar prevents the growth of putrefactive or bad bacteria that cause rotting. Instead, it favors the good. This is why the mixture does not smell like a swamp, but rather like a sweet, earthy wine. In the context of our survival plot, stability is life. A fertilizer that rots is a liability. A fertilizer that ferments is an asset. The brown sugar creates a protective barrier that keeps the enzymes active and the pathogens at bay. It turns a bucket of weeds into a shelf-stable concentrate that can be kept in a cool, dark place for over a year. Precision is the hallmark of the FPJ hack. The gold standard ratio is 1:1 by weight equal parts, chopped plants and brown sugar. This ratio ensures that there's enough sugar to completely coat the plant material and initiate the osmotic draw. Once mixed, the container is covered with a breathable cloth, never a solid lid. This allows the fermentation gases to escape while preventing fruit flies from entering. This stage of the process is where the plot thickens for the farmer. You are watching a biological reaction take place. Over the course of 5 to 7 days, the volume of the greens will shrink as they give up their liquid. This ratio is the fundamental law of natural farming. It ensures that the final product is a concentrated essence, requiring only a tiny amount, typically 2 tablespoons per gallon of water to be effective. Not all parts of the weed are created equal. To maximize the growth-boosting effects of the farmer focuses exclusively on the apical meristems, the very tips of the growing vines or branches. These tips are flooded with auxins and gibberellins, the hormones responsible for cell division and elongation. By fermenting only these power centers, you create a fertilizer that specifically tells the target crop to grow faster. This is biological signaling at its most advanced. In our movie, if the protagonist needed to accelerate his harvest before the oxygen ran out, this hormone-rich extract would have been his greatest tool. It is the difference between a plant that merely survives and a plant that races toward maturity. By concentrating these hormones into a liquid spray, the farmer can manipulate the life cycle of the crop, pushing it past the danger zone of early vulnerability. The most effective way to use fermented plant juice is as a foliar spray. Plants have the incredible ability to absorb nutrients through their stomata, tiny pores on their leaves. This is much faster than waiting for roots to process nutrients from the soil. When the diluted FPJ hits the leaf surface, the nutrients and hormones enter the plant's bloodstream almost immediately. This bypass method is essential during times of stress, such as drought or pest attack, when the root system might be compromised. In the opening scene's disaster, a foliar application could have been a medical for the dying plants. It provides an instant boost of energy that bypasses the damaged environment. This efficiency is why FPJ is considered a super gem hack. It delivers the highest impact with the lowest amount of material, saving the harvest from the brink. The true goal of the fermented juice hack is independence. Industrial fertilizers are derived from petroleum and natural gas, making them subject to global market spikes and shortages. By mastering FPJ, the farmer severs the cord to the global supply chain. This is the Watney method of farming, using what is available on site to create what is necessary for life. The cost of FPJ is virtually zero if you have weeds and access to sugar. When compared to the hundreds of dollars spent on synthetic jugs, the economic gem becomes clear. Moreover, FPJ does not burn the soil or kill the earthworms. It builds soil structure over time, unlike chemicals that degrade it. This chapter marks the transition from being a consumer of agricultural products to being a producer of agricultural solutions, turning liability weeds into a massive financial and biological asset. A secondary benefit of the fermentation process is the production of lactic acid bacteria lab. These are the same probiotics found in yogurt and kimchi. In the garden, lab acts as a powerful cleaner and protector. It consumes the waste products of other microbes and suppresses pathogens like powdery mildew and various soil-borne blights. When you spray FPJ, you are not just feeding the plant. You are painting the leaves with a protective layer of beneficial bacteria. This explains why the movie's blight was so devastating. The ecosystem lacked these guardian microbes. By using FPJ, you are reinforcing the plant's external defenses. It is a holistic approach that addresses nutrition and protection simultaneously. The fermented juice creates a living shield that makes the crop much more difficult for diseases to penetrate, ensuring that the plot of your growing season ends in a harvest. To maintain the super gem effect, the application must be consistent but light. FPJ should be applied once a week during the vegetative stage of the plant. Because it is so concentrated, a little goes a long way. Over-applying can actually make plants too soft and attractive to pests due to the high sugar content. The application should happen in the late afternoon or early evening. This prevents the sun from burning the delicate leaves through the water droplets. and gives the microbes all night to work in the cool, moist air. This rhythmic application builds a cumulative effect in the soil and the plant's immune system. It is a steady drumbeat of health that prevents the crises seen in our opening scene. Consistent care through FPJ leads to a stable, resilient farm that can weather the storms of unpredictable weather and fluctuating resource availability. We return to the image of the farm, but the dust is settled and the plants are vibrant and green. The plot has resolved not in tragedy, but in a sustainable future. The fermented juice hack is more than just a fertilizer recipe. It is a philosophy of abundance. It teaches us that nature provides everything we need if we have the eyes to see it. The weeds that were once pulled and thrown away are now harvested as the farm's most valuable resource. The farmer is no longer a victim of high prices or depleted soils. Like a survivor on a distant planet, the farmer has learned to thrive using only the biology underfoot. This super gem hack closes the loop, turning waste into wealth, and ensuring that no matter what airlock fails in the global economy, the farm will continue to grow, breathe, and provide life for the future.